Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to show you how to make, load, and shoot off one of my 3D printed canister shells that I designed on Fusion 360. In this one I'm going to use Rice Krispies coated in black powder as the burst charge, 5 of my black powder and red sparkler stars, and then some flying fish fuse mixed with the burst charge. The first step is to clip off a piece of the red visco fuse about an inch long, give or take. And then once that is done, put it right through the hole in the bottom until it pokes up clearly in there, and there's about ½ a centimeter left on the bottom. Next, after doing this, I'm going to put a little ring of hot glue around the fuse to hold it in place. There we go, all glued in. Okay, so after the glue has dried on the bottom of the shell, which doesn't take very long, grab a spoon, just a regular plastic spoon, and take about this much burst charge and just pour it in. And then after that, you can add the flying fish fuse and burst charge, but these are just the effects of my choice. You can really put any other effect in you want and it'll just perform as that effect. And then afterwards I'm going to put just these 5 stars in and then shake it up so that way the burst charge gets pretty evenly distributed so everything lights well. After everything is in the shell, grab a standard paper towel and rip off about 1/4 of it, and then ball up that 1/4 and just shove it in on top and press firmly to make sure it is in there well. Also, keep in mind that these shells are made for minimum noise because I have some neighbors that aren't particularly fond of loud fireworks, so I try to keep them as quiet as possible while being able to use all the color. Okay, so the next step is to use the hot glue gun to put a ring of hot glue around the top inside so it seals it up nicely and so the burst charge lights everything before the top pops out. There we go, the rim is all glued in. Yay, now we have a completely finished shell ready to be lit off. Now to prepare the tube for launch. For the tube, I'm going to use a standard cardboard tube that fits the shell very precisely, with a giant base for extra stability. The next step is pretty simple. Just cut as much visco fuse as you think you will need for the tube, and then just put it in the hole that's in the bottom. And then once that is done, just take a full spoonful of the lift charge and just dump it in the tube. After this, you're just ready to load your shell. And the loading of the shell is just putting this in and then making sure it gets all the way to the bottom. After you're sure your shell has reached all the way to the bottom, take the rest of the paper towel that you had used earlier for using the 1/4 of to plug the shell and stuff it down on top. Once it is nice and firmly in there, I like using a wooden rod to give it a few whacks to make sure it is in there firmly. And then finally, I just put a piece of tape on top to increase the pressure of the shell to make sure it gets nice height. And there you go. That's it. Now we're ready to light. Let's see how it goes. So after I launched it, I recovered the shell and it is still in great condition and perfectly usable again. This particular one I've used like 5 or 6 times. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and please stay safe when you're trying to make one of these on your own. And thank you for watching. See you next time.